We do a lot of activities in our daily lives, from pressing the switch, pushing the trolley, kicking a ball, knocking a nail, and some other examples like pulling a box, drawing an arrow, raising a flag, opening the door, all these and many, many more. So if you carefully look at these actions, we can actually categorize them into two major groups, either pushing or pulling. If you talk about playing a guitar, we are pulling some strings. If you talk about scrubbing the floor, what are we doing? We are actually pushing the sponge or the cloth against the floor. If you are rowing a boat, we are actually pulling or pushing the water with the rope, with the oars. In the same way, if you are opening the door, you are pushing the door. If you are kicking the ball, you are kicking the ball. So this is what we are going to learn today. So we are here to learn more about these pushing and pulling actions under the heading force and pressure, which happens to be the 11th chapter of your textbook. So if you talk about force, it is simply a push or a pull or sometimes both. So a force cannot be seen, but we can feel because of the effects that the force has on different objects. So if you recollect all those activities or examples that I showed to you in the beginning of the video, you can actually consider them, you can actually classify them into push or pull or the combination of both push and pull. Here are the examples. So it's that simple, children. If you want an object to be moved, it has to be either pushed or pulled, right? So this push or pull is nothing but the force. So one more very important thing that we have to learn is that the forces are due to an interaction. There has to be some interaction between two objects, any two objects at least, that results in the effects of force. So if a man stands behind a car, the car does not move. He has to either push it or pull it in order to move the car in some direction, right? If he is pushing the car will move forward, and if he is pulling the car, it will go in the reverse direction. So what are these effects? I told you that force cannot be seen but can be felt by the way of effects that it shows, right? So here are the different effects that force has on a body. It changes the shape temporarily, it changes the shape permanently, it changes the direction of a moving object, it changes the speed of a moving object, it stops a moving object. So we will see about all these things in detail now with examples. Let us see the first one. Force can make an object to move from rest. For this, we can take the same example of a man pushing the car. Before pushing or pulling, the car was at rest. So it starts to move only after application of some force in the form of a pull or a push. We can stop a moving object by applying force in an opposite direction. Like here, you can see that the goalkeeper is trying to stop that football coming towards him with some force. Force can change the speed of an object if it is moving. Like if you pedal harder, the bicycle tends to move faster. You are applying more force in order to change the speed, make it go faster. Force can change the direction of a motion of an object. What does a batsman do? When the ball comes to him, he changes the direction of the ball by hitting it with a ball, right? With his bat, he can actually decide the direction in which the ball should move. Not only all these effects, but the force can change the shape of an object also. Like for example, what does your mama do for making chapatis? She takes a small piece of dough and she rolls it in the desired shape. She's actually applying some force in order to change the shape of the dough, right? So force can have any of these 5 effects, or sometimes it may have more than one combinations of different effects. In my next class, I shall be explaining about the types of forces and their examples, children. Watch this video again and note down some important points from it. Thank you.